folks, I'm Ann Webb with Common Cause NC. Election 2024 is underway. Here are 5 things to know about voting in this year's election in North Carolina. Number 1. There are 3 options for voting in North Carolina. Choose the option that works best for you. Option 1. Vote early at any early voting site in your county from October 17th through November 2nd. Option 2. Vote in person on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th, at your assigned polling place between 6:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. Option 3. Vote absentee by mail. Completed mail-in ballots must be received no later than 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th. So follow the mail-in ballot instructions closely and return your ballot as soon as possible by mail or by delivering it to your County Board of Elections office. Now is the time to make your plan to vote. Get more information at ncvoterguide.org. Number 2. Voter registration. If you're already registered to vote at your current North Carolina address, then you're all set to vote. We encourage you to check your voter registration status at ccnc.me/lookup. If you didn't register to vote before the October 11th deadline, or if you need to update your registration because you moved, this is important. You'll need to use same-day voter registration at any early voting site in your county from now through November 2nd. When you use same-day registration at an early voting site, bring an identifying document with your name and current address, such as a driver's license, bank statement, utility bill, or government document. Learn more at ncvoterguide.org/same-day. Number 3. Voter ID. Voters will be asked to show photo identification when voting in North Carolina this year. For most voters, that will mean simply showing their NC driver's license. But there are other acceptable photo IDs for voting, including a U.S. passport, a military or veteran ID, a tribal enrollment card, or a student ID approved by the State Board of Elections. Free voter IDs are also available at every County Board of Elections office through November 2nd, and again after November 5th. To find a list of acceptable IDs for voting, visit the State Board of Elections website at bringitnc.com. It's important to know that all voters will be allowed to vote with or without a photo ID. If you cannot show photo ID when voting in person, you can still vote by signing a completed ID exception form and voting a provisional ballot. Be sure to ask for the exception form. If absentee by mail voters are unable to include a copy of their photo ID with their ballot return envelope, they can also fill out an ID exception form with their ballot. Again, learn more about voter ID at bringitnc.com or by calling the Nonpartisan Voter Protection Hotline at 888-OUR-VOTE. Number 4. More than 1.2 million voters in 25 Western North Carolina counties were impacted by the devastation of Hurricane Helene. In response, the State Board of Elections and the state legislature took unanimous, bipartisan action to make voting easier for voters affected by the hurricane. And local election officials in mountain communities are working tirelessly to ensure every voter in Western North Carolina is able to make their voice heard this election. Some special rules apply to voters in these counties. For example, voters in the 25 Western North Carolina counties who are unable to get an acceptable photo ID can complete an ID exception form and select natural disaster when they vote. Voters in these counties also have extra flexibility in obtaining and turning in mail-in ballots. Important updates for voters affected by Hurricane Helene can be found on the State Board of Elections website at ncspe.gov/Helene. Number 5. North Carolinians have a full ballot this year, with critically important contests for president, Congress, governor, the state Supreme Court, and the legislature, along with important state and local races. You can find info about the candidates on your ballot and see where they stand on issues you care about by going to ncvoterguide.org. Your voice matters. Even statewide contests in North Carolina are often decided by a few thousand or even just a few hundred votes. So don't miss out on making your voice heard. If you have any questions or encounter any problems voting, call the Nonpartisan Voter Protection Hotline at 888-OUR-VOTE. That's 888-687-8683. Thanks for watching 5 Things to Know About Voting in North Carolina's 2024 election. You can find us anytime at commoncausenc.org. Now let's go vote!